Do these names sound familiar? Refnol, tramadol, loud, colos, or even codeine? Well, these are substances and drugs that young people use and abuse for just one reason: to get high. Welcome back, guys. So, why do these people want to get high? Well, some have said that it helps to boost their creativity and they get inspired for them to churn out their creative work. This is usually said mostly by musicians. Some other people said, oh, they're going through a lot in this life. I mean, life struggles is just too much for them, and this helps them to like escape all of their life issues because at that high point, nothing really bothers them. Although it's temporary, but they don't even mind. Some other category of people have said that the kind of work that they do is very stressful, it's hard work, it's overwhelming, and this helps to like relieve their stress. So simply, it's a stress relief for some people.
No vale, maybe Niger, no vale haircut for me, Niger can feel the pension, no vale,
Some other people have said that this drug use is a copycat habit for them. Learned it by watching music videos, movies, and maybe societal influence from maybe neighbors that are sending them on errands to help them get this thing. Or probably they live in a neighborhood where this thing is highly available and prevalent.
Here, the influence of drugs is glaring. This young man struggles to stand. His body is overwhelmed by colos, one of the dangerous drugs. Many others in this area are caught in the same cycle.
But guess what? In as much as this helps them to forget their sorrow, helps them to be creative and relieve their stress, this drug use is what slowly leads into addiction. And this addiction is the reason why we see that fine guy or that pretty lady on the street or in your community that has lots of potential, probably has a bright future and is full of life, has turned into shadows of themselves.
This is not me. This is not real me. My goal was to be a doctor, but not this. This is not a doctor. This is. I don't know. This is another man.
Just 2 weeks ago, the NDLEA, that's the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency in Nigeria, seized drugs and opioids worth 3.4 billion naira. That's a whole lot. So what are opioids? For those who don't know, opioids are prescription medicines that are actually administered to patients, to people who are going through severe pain. So they are basically powerful painkillers. People who actually have cancer and are going through chemotherapy and the likes. So these prescription medicines are now being abused and used for recreation and enjoyment purposes. That's why they call them recreational drugs. And these opioids are what we hear of: the heroin, morphine, codeine, tramadol, fentanyl, vicodin, and the likes. Now imagine that these drugs were seized. It would have trickled down to almost every nook and cranny in Lagos or in Nigeria. Simply because, there is a huge market for it. People are actually waiting to get these drugs. It's really interesting to know that 14 million Nigerians are on drugs. And the majority of this population are young people. They are the ones that are actually at high risk of taking these drugs. And it does not even end there. It's not as if they only take these drugs I mentioned earlier, like codeine, like tramadol. Some of them even go to the extent of using inhalants. That is, drugs that are being inhaled. They sniff them. For example, some sniff glue, some sniff paint, some sniff exhaust fumes that comes out from exhaust pipes of cars, of generators. Some go to the extent of sniffing soakaways and the likes. This is so terrible. And in as much as we want to blame them for this terrible habit of drug addiction, we also must know that we cannot give them, I think that we cannot give them like 100% of the blame, because addiction is very complex. Some of them actually want to stop, but it's very difficult for them to stop. Here is how addiction works. Do you know how sometimes you're scrolling through your phone and you go to probably CCM's page or Chepty's page and you see such a sumptuous meal and you start salivating almost immediately? That's how addiction begins. At the first try, when people try these drugs, some people actually may like it, some may not like it. For those who like it, that may be the beginning of their problems.
I went to the ghetto and buy another one and smoke it. I said, oh, this is so sweet. Can I feel more? That's how it started. So now I'm an addict.
So normally when you do a fun activity or something interesting, or you eat a good food, there's usually a dopamine release. The brain releases dopamine. This dopamine is a neurotransmitter. That's a chemical that helps to build connection within the brain cells. So at the first try of using drugs, People that find it enjoyable, there's a dopamine release, in their brain cells, and it helps to build that communication, among the brain cells, and that is registered in the brain. So when they see this drug the next time, for those who find it really fun to take and enjoyable the first time, there is this trigger, they feel triggered and tempted to take it. And if they take it again, it registers in the brain memory, and it is there that, oh, you actually like this. So there's a dopamine boost the second time after the trigger. And before you know it, the next time the person sees it, the person starts to crave. Or even when the person does not see it, the person starts to crave this drug, because it has been registered in the brain, and the brain is already adapting and building dopamine at the sight or at the thoughts of this drug. And whether the person uses small quantity or even large quantity of it, the brain has adapted, and it might not be enough for the person. And before you know it, the person has already graduated into addiction phase. When there is addiction, it's always difficult to stop, because when you stop, there are usually some health implications the person might experience. The person might not be able to sleep. The person might have really low appetite, might have some other issues that will make the person go back to it, because it's already registered in the brain that, oh, I enjoy this, I would like to take it. So let's talk about the health implications of drug abuse and addiction. First, these people have a high risk of contracting blood-borne pathogens like HIV, hepatitis B virus, hepatitis C virus, because sometimes they even share the same needle to inject these drugs in their body system,
Our heroin.
which should not be. I mean, why are you sharing needles? Why are you sharing needles? But yeah, they do that. Another one is the risk of lung cancer, mouth cancer, liver disease, because they are taking in too much toxins than their body can handle, than their liver can handle. Renal failure. I mean, most people that actually take these drugs also take alcohol. They take all different things, and even these drugs contain different things that they do not have an idea of. So they are at a high risk of kidney damage. Another one is neurological diseases that can affect their neurons, their brain cells. When I talk about neurons, I'm talking about the nerve cells that connect the brain and the spinal cord. So they have a high risk of damaging their nervous system, majorly the brain, because they could result into psychosis. It affects their mood, it affects their thinking, it affects their coordination, it affects their appetite. Almost everything about their brain changes. And that's why you see sometimes the way they walk, the way they talk, the way they behave is actually not normal. And it can actually lead into an eventual brain damage. This affects all areas of your life. It affects their sexual life. It affects their mental health. Sometimes they hallucinate. Some even have anxiety disorder, and eventually can be depressed. Apart from these health implications, there are many other issues at hand that are worth talking about. I know I'm supposed to stay on health implications alone, but these other issues are equally important for me to mention. These people end up sometimes, when they are addicted and they have no money, they run out of money for them to get these drugs. They resort into criminal activities. They could go into stealing, stealing things.
I sold my two cars. What do you expect? I started taking their phones, laptops, and everything from the house, bags of rice, and
Raping women just for them to get their valuables and sell for them to be able to afford these drugs. These people also cause harm to themselves and to others. Sometimes they even have accidents unknowingly, because sometimes they become unconscious. They don't even know what they are doing at any given point in time. You see some people that are walking and are sleeping at the same time. They are sleepwalking. They are doing things that are really weird, and sometimes it can lead into accidents, and they might die untimely.
Illegal, addictive opioids are flooding the streets of West Africa, destroying thousands of lives and fueling a public health crisis.
So what are the solutions? So I think creating awareness is actually very important, because if you're educated and you know about a thing, you would know whether or not to do that thing. You'll be well informed enough to know that, okay, this thing is bad for me, I shouldn't be doing it. So at all school levels, be it primary, secondary, higher institution, we need to create this awareness for people to stop drug use and abuse for whatever reason at all. It is not safe, it is not good. Secondly, I think we need strict regulations from NDLEA. It's not enough to say you're seizing drugs or you're making arrests. We need to see the names of the people you've actually arrested and convicted. Not just arrested, but convicted. We want you to name names of these people. These drugs are not just being shipped into the country by nobody. They are shipped in by big people, like really connected people who have the connections, who have the money. So just making arrests, here and there is not enough. We need you to name names of people that are actually involved in this, convict them, take them to jail, life imprisonment, whatever it is that you want to give them. This is going to serve as a deterrent for others to know that, oh, this thing is actually not good. This person, as influential as he is, can be convicted that, who is me? Who am I? Who are they? That they cannot actually arrest me. Do you get? So yeah, we need to actually see proper convictions in real time of people that are actually doing this and have been jailed for it. Thirdly, I think mass rehabilitation. We need like people, initiatives. We want many Nigerians, we want many people around the world that can actually, offer to help people, build rehabilitation centers that can actually accommodate these people, take them in, care for them, treat them, let them be well okay before you bring them back into society again. And I commend people like Pastor Tony Rapu, who has a rehabilitation center, who has been doing this for years and has been helping people.
Yes, it's me, Mike. Shana Wale before. See me now, fine boy, I'm fresh. Are you like me? I am a champion.
If we can have more initiatives like this, taken up by NGOs, taken up by religious bodies, is really going to go a long way in making sure that we have this under control. Government intervention, I can't even, underestimate this. It is very important because if poverty is alleviated for people, if there are enough jobs for people to do, if people are actually kept busy and have something doing with their lives, I mean, this is going to be at the minimal level. We're not going to have it as much as this. So I think government can come in terms of, educating people, equipping and empowering people so that they can actually leave all of this, bad habits. The input of parents too cannot be overemphasized. A lot of parents have actually tried their best, but the thing is, sometimes when they have wards or kids that are actually abusing drugs or addicted to drugs, sometimes it's actually beyond their own power. They've tried their best, they've done all they can do, and there's nothing more they can do. They feel helpless at this point, which is why parents too need support groups who can come in and support them, encourage them, just help them in one way or the other, because sometimes it's not, in fact, most times it's not always easy for the parents and the guidance. I know that peer pressure is one of the reasons some people take drugs. So once you have friends that are encouraging you to take drugs, oh, come and take it, come and try it. It's not going to do you anything, it's not harmful, I'm going to enjoy it. And they are just, boosting your morale for you to take it. My dear, run, no, run, quick race. Some people too, they'll be glorifying the benefits of cannabis, of drugs in general. Like, it's very beneficial to your health. It's very this, it's very that. Please, when you have such friends, please run. Because before you know it, they might have added it to your food and you don't even like the end result at all. So please, when you have people around you who are taking drugs, who are encouraging you to take it, or who are glorifying the use of drugs, please pick race. Don't even think twice about it. Pick race. Yeah, some of these drugs are actually made from plants. For example, cannabis is a plant, marijuana plant, and there's cannabinoids in it. This cannabinoid is actually used to create or to produce, manufacture some drugs, for painkillers, like I said earlier. But then this does not mean that you should not use it for your own recreation purposes, for your own enjoyment, for your own relaxation. It is uncalled for. These drugs have the ability to cross the blood-brain barrier, which means that they can actually have an effect on the brain. So if the situation is not a very serious one, a very critical one, they don't just prescribe these drugs. Nobody prescribes drugs that contains cannabis for just anybody or just anyhow. It's not an over-the-counter drug. It's not a drug that should be flying around in our society. It is only used for terminally ill patients that are actually going through severe pain. And there is no other drug that can actually treat them except this drug. It's usually the last resort. So nobody should be taking this drug for whatever reason at all. So when you see people that are actually glorifying it, please pick race, like I said. Make sure you run. When you're addicted, there's only little that you can do to save yourself. At that point, you really might not be able to save yourself. You might be dependent on others to save you. And even those that want to save you might get tired along the way because it's not an easy journey. So the best thing you can do for yourself is to prevent yourself, to avoid it, to flee from drugs. Don't do drugs. It's not safe in any form. It simply ruins lives. So if you don't want your life to be ruined, please don't even embrace it. Don't even romanticize it. Don't even glorify it. Where they're glorifying it, please take the exit door. Yes, although not everybody that takes drugs at the first time will go back to it. But you might not be able to tell You might not be able to tell whether you like it or not. If you like it the first time, that is danger. You are inviting problem, and that's not good for you. It's not good for your family members. So even if you're not thinking of yourself, please think of your family.
Because of drugs, I did not concentrate on studies. Because of drugs, I did not concentrate on writing. Because of drugs, I did not concentrate on anything.
Because the family is going to be affected, it also affects the society at large. Please help us to help you. If you have an addiction problem and you're trying to solve it, you don't know how, please find your way to the nearest hospital. The fact that you're going to a psychiatric hospital does not mean that you're mad. You just want help for yourself. You want to save yourself. If you don't want to go to a psychiatric hospital, you can as well go to any hospital. They can refer you, and guide you on how to go about it. Seek help. I know it's not easy. It's not easy, we know, and I encourage you to actually seek help. We've had cases of people who have actually been using drugs and they've stopped. They are fine and healthy. Their family is enjoying them back now. So please ensure to flee from drugs, and if you're already addicted to it, please seek help and get better. Even the musicians that claim, oh, they are using it for creative purposes, they're also in need of help. And parents, all these videos, music videos that the kids are watching, please ensure that what they are watching is actually healthy for their mind. It doesn't corrupt their mind in any form, because these musicians, I don't think they're ready to listen to us anytime soon. And if they're not ready to do the right thing, please, you as a parent, try to do the right thing by making sure you use parental guidance on the movies, on the music videos that they watch. If at all they have to watch it, just make sure that you save yourself and save your kids. If you know someone that you're suspecting to be taking drugs and the person is not coming out clean, you can take the person for drug testing, and you can always do and quickly take action by taking the person for medical help. So I think this is the end of my video today. If you actually like this video, please kindly like, share to other people to see, and also subscribe to the channel. It's a way of you telling the algorithm that, oh, I like this video, I like our content, and I would like her to produce more. You're just encouraging me and also helping others to find this video. So thank you so much, the 136 subscribers that I have locked in to this channel. Thank you so much for supporting me. If you have not subscribed yet, please don't forget to subscribe. Till the next one, bye. My name is Nima Idera.